Let's do it.
I like to think of the errors of Tenfei like the errors of Doctor Who. Who's your favorite, the Tenfei? I like Tenfei number 7 myself.
He's quite dashing.
I think he's overrated. I prefer the 5th Tenfei.
You're a Tenfei hipster, is your problem. Somebody is drinking something and it sounds so refreshing.
I think I was just drinking my ginger ale.
Oh, you have ginger ale?
Mm-hmm.
Ginger ale. It's good stuff.
I have choices and decisions.
That's 2 very bold things to have.
I gotta try to get money so I can get those options.
You can choose to spin or you can spin to choose.
Big money whammies.
That was Peggy Hill's game show she made up on King of the Hill. It's called Spin the Choice. Good times.
Fucking Peggy Hill.
Oh, Peggy Hill.
That Peggy Hill. What?
No.
Hoshor, are you starting the Peggy Hill fan club?
I was, and then my girlfriend reminded me that she's in the room, so I can't.
Your girlfriend reminded you that Peggy Hill is awful and doesn't deserve a fan club.
Oh, what about Peggy Bundy?
Now, Peg Bundy. That's
There's a Cyclops.
100% homegrown MILF material right there, son. Unless you're Al Bundy.
Oh, then you just hate her to death.
Oh, Al Bundy. Al Bundy will forever be like my personal hero.
Really?
I found this post online that's like, you know how it's one of those things you would reblog on the Tumblr if you were a cool kid. And it talked about how Hank Hill, Hank Hill too, but how Al Bundy is like, he gave up so much for his family and they just hate him and shit on him all the time. He gave up his dreams for those ingrateful assholes.
Yeah.
So how's everyone doing tonight?
I'm good.
I'm doing alright.
What was everyone eating? Because apparently everyone ate simultaneously.
I had breadsticks.
Do you have to describe them to me? Their origin? Place of origin? Can I get the place of origin? Can you use the breadstick in a sentence?
Breadsticks.
I don't think that's a proper sentence.
That sounds like Little Caesar's breadsticks.
Now,
no.
Those aren't breadsticks. Those are crazy bread. You bite into one of them, and then you're the son of Sparta, because the shit gets absolutely crazy.
Dante level? Yeah.
What? Are they Pizza Hut breadsticks, Wes? You can tell me. I'm your friend.
No, not Pizza Hut. Not a place you guys probably have heard of. I think this is more localized to the Midwest, actually.
Oh, God. Is it Great Lakes Pizza?
No.
Oh.
It's Silent Hill Pizza, actually. I don't know if you've heard of this place.
Oh, God.
Silent Hill Pizza?
You don't choose the toppings. You just go there and get one, and then the toppings manifest based on your inner demon.
They make you feel guilty.
You're like, sardines. Oh, I drowned a dog.
Jesus. Deserve to go to Silent Hill. Fuck you.
I had the audacity today to attempt to find a copy of Silent Hill 2 online, and you can't do it. They're like all dried up. It was a natural resource that
ruined it.
That, Twilight Princess for the GameCube, Smash Brothers Melee, none of these things exist on the internet.
Oh, really? Melee doesn't?
I had a bit of trouble finding Melee that wasn't like $50-$60.
Yeah, no, it's still a hot commodity.
And my friend just bought Twilight Princess for like $45 for the GameCube.
I feel like instead of investing in gold, people should invest in copies of Call of Duty games because they never go down in price, even used. I was like, I still just want a copy of fucking Black Ops because I like the zombie mode. And they still have the audacity to charge like $25 for a used copy of it. It's goddamn
That
ridiculous.
name brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
love
will-
zombie mode.
Oh, the zombie mode from Black Ops is so good. It's like the Horde mode from Gears 2. It's the only part of the game you should play.
I was the fucking albatross on that one. I was awful at fucking zombies.
Ah, good times. I want to do... It would be so great for the Tenfei channel to do a zombies thing, but, you know, you gotta learn how to turn lead into gold to get a copy of it.
I might be able to help you out with that one.
You can turn lead into gold?
Well, I mean, you can if you know what you're doing. It involves brown Listerine. That's one of the key ingredients. That's why it's regulated. What is
So,
the...
S no longer has his right arm or left leg, just saying.
He's got the freshest breath. So, Noah, what did you just get done eating?
Make this a group video call. It's free. No thank you, Skype. Shut up.
What's going on?
I said, Noah, what did you just get done eating? I need you to describe it to me in intricate detail. I'm
It's
going to eat vicariously through you.
potatoes and carrots and chicken, like all mixed together in like a not quite a casserole, but a thing like that, like a baked thing.
A baked thing.
Yep, it was pretty good.
I see. Did you make it yourself with elbow grease and determination?
No, my uncle made it.
He was like, Noah, you must eat potatoes. And you went to leave the table without getting your roll that went with it. And he was like, one more thing. Hoshor, why am I seeing a video of you in the Skype call now?
Because
And then,
eventually...
more importantly,
There
why
may-
am I not seeing cats?
I was about to say there was gonna be cats.
Oh god, this is... I actually listened
Come here,
to my first appearance in the TENFENITY podcast in the last 24 hours.
Oh, yeah?
And the fucking entire first bit of that podcast was fucking Ben going nuts for a cat.
I have been known to do such things from time to time, you see. For people at home, because you're never going to see this, Hoshor is holding an orange cat.
That is a big cat.
It also doesn't
Jesus.
want to be in your
Yeah,
arms.
He's pretty large.
He's trying to become an amorphous solid so he can slip in between your arms and under the door. Oh, he's off to help find his black friend and stop that evil company that spilled chemicals
He
on him.
is. Except there's one problem.
What's up?
I have that black friend.
This is self-indulgent even for the fucking TENFENITY podcast. To just watch Hoshor pet cats.
It's the closest you can get.
That's true. That cat seems more acclimated to being held.
He is. His
Being
mom
held
holds him
accountable.
up.
What's everyone been up to? This is the podcast that apparently people wanted to come back, so what are we fucking doing?
I love how the two people who wanted this to come back most are both in the podcast.
There you go. You had it, you fuckers.
Yeah, okay. Why didn't you two start your own podcast with
We talked
fucking
about it,
hookers and
we
blackjack?
did talk about it. He was like, I'm gonna have to steal you. I was like, well, Ben's not gonna put anything up. We have to do content.
We talked about doing a podcast, possibly. With the,
The thing
hookers
is,
and
in my
cocaine.
in my Skype window is actual animated Hoshor, but to the right of him is just a frozen picture of Noah with a shit-eating grin on his face. And so it's like, I keep expecting Noah to move and react, and he's just frozen in time.
That's awesome.
See, I'm like looking around at.
Guns.
Well, no, I'm just on a web browser, and so I just see like portraits in like the corner from where like Skype is minimized, and then all of a sudden like video of Hoshor like playing with a toy or cats or something.
Or
I am actively playing Rebirth, while we podcast.
I was playing a game, but I got distracted from all this important dialogue, so I stopped.
I'm 21. I can multitask. That's a thing that happened while we were gone. I turned 21.
I was like, you were a kid.
So it's been a year since we last.
That's right, a full year.
Probably.
Oh my.
There was a podcast. It's dead now.
Oh, yeah. For the people listening, if this podcast works, me, Wes, and Noah did record an entire 2-hour podcast, 3 weeks ago?
Longer than that.
Something like that.
And the software fucked up and only recorded my voice, so it would just be 2 hours of me talking to myself. And I already know Hoshor would want that uploaded, but... Hoshor, do you have 8 arms like Dr. Octopus? Arms just came from off screen and wiped your face off.
It also fed me, too.
Yeah.
So, the worst part about losing that podcast, do you still have the audio, Ben?
I have the audio of me, yes.
Yeah, you need to rip your roommate out, that bit, which was sadly lost.
Oh, yeah.
That is really good.
Yeah.
I haven't even
And
heard
also-
it, because I left the room when he did that.
You gotta go back and listen to it. It was so funny.
Maybe
Well,
I'll...
And then also, I made Noah laugh with probably the best joke I'll tell all of 2015, and it's gone now.
Oh, you peaked so early.
I did.
You're like, the movies.
I
that come out in
combined
January.
wrestling and JoJo in one beautiful moment, and now it's gone.
Oh, it was too good. It was too good for this world.
That's what killed
The best I
podcast.
could do was tweet it afterwards, and it wasn't good enough.
And it was an actual good joke on this podcast, so the podcast self-destructed. It couldn't handle it. Hoshor, is there a Zeppelin behind you? What the heck? You have... Is that
It's
a
an
Bud
airplane.
Light airplane? It's an
Yeah.
airplane made of Bud Light cans. That's... Hoshor, why is it still light outside where you're at?
It's not.
Oh, is that fake light?
Yes, that's what it looks like outside.
Oh god, it's so dreary.
We're getting the best video tour of wherever the hell Hoser's at now.
Illinois.
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 Closer to me than you guys now.
Yeah.
You should lean out your window and yell and see if Wes hears you.
Hang on 1 second.
That area is really flat. I assume the sound would travel.
You would think so, but from what I hear, Wes is a dick and doesn't want to hear me.
Nope, not at all. I've actually campaigned against Hoshor being on the podcast ever again.
There was a chick outside of Whole Foods with a clipboard doing the whole thing. He's like, "Do you want to campaign against Hoshor from being able to yell at his West?" And they were like, "Well, I'll sign right up."
I like this guy that's signing it. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Why did this guy all of a sudden turn into an enemy from Yoshi's Island or something?
He was the blast processing, or whatever that fucking shit was called that made the sprite stretch.
That's the Sega.
Well, what was it called? The Yoshi's Island stretched them sprites big.
Oh, Mode 7?
Well, I mean, yeah, it was Mode 7, but I figured they'd give it a cool name.
Yeah,
Oh, so you
Mode
became
7.
an anime. You became a Gundam pilot when you pulled your hair down. Pull it down again. Hey, you're Trowa fucking Barton. Pull it all to over your right eye, in one direction. Now dress up as a clown for some reason. I don't understand Trowa Barton.
Okay, so I'm about to go off on some Gundam Wing for a second.
Shit! What the fuck have I done?
What happened?
So,
You've triggered Noah, Ben. Good
so
job.
no, here's the thing, is that there's now a series of novels, like a book series. I don't know what to really call it, but it's a book series, and they have occasional illustrations. It's a sequel to Gundam Wing, and they come up with new pilots that are the replacements for the Gundam Wing pilots, even though the Gundam Wing pilots are still in it. And all the new pilots look exactly the same as the original pilots, even though half of them aren't even related.
You just described the second season of the Digimon anime because it's the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's shit.
Yeah.
Hoser,
Yeah.
did you know that Digimon are digital champions and that they're going to save the digital world? I heard you mumbling the Digimon thing.
Yeah.
Wes, did you ever get into any hardcore Pokemon versus Digimon, schoolyard arguments where you had to represent?
Oh, it turned into full-on brawls, dude. All the time out on the schoolyard.
And then a kid would run up and be like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And then everyone had a common enemy.
That kid got shit kicked and curb stomped. That's, you know.
Holy shit! Stop.
I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I don't know if you guys know
Really?
this.
Which suburb?
I grew up in Gary, Indiana.
Oh,
I grew up in Iceland. Have you not listened to the podcast, Hozier? Come on.
Not Gary.
Did you just ask me if I have listened to the podcast?
Yeah, I did. That's right.
I have.
He has them on phonograph
I just see
records.
Hozier staring at me out the corner of my monitor.
It's so distracting to see Hozier in real time and nobody else.
I mean, I could turn my camera on, but you just watch me as I watch a TV.
Word.
It's like The Sims.
Pretty much. You could play Rebirth vicariously through my face.
Maybe that's what we
down.
need to do to make the podcast popular. We all need to be video on the screen.
Hey, we could.
It
Do
can
we?
be like the new Northernlion and Friends podcast.
What?
Southerntiger, Westernjaguar, and Easternocelot. Are those his friends?
No? Yes? I don't know. I don't know who the fuck they are.
There's a cat fight happening in Hosier's house. It's super hot. Which
They don't
cat,
make any noise.
Which cat generally wins the battle?
Oh, Remus does, the orange one.
This
This is alright.
podcast. Has anyone done anything? Has anyone played a video game?
I played a video game.
Tell me about it.
I've played several video games.
At once?
Yes, no. Usually one at a time.
Are you the
But-
guy that runs the software company from Grandma's Boy?
Oh god. No, I am not. But I've played a couple of games like Skyrogue Alpha, which is an Aerofighter's Assault style flying sim game.
Did you play it with a flight stick? Or
I did not. I don't have a
immersion?
flight stick.
Well, then I don't even know why you bothered.
I've also started playing Darkest Dungeon, which is a sort of like I won't call it roguelike, but a randomly generated dungeon exploring game where you gather up people in your village and then you take them to go explore dungeons and they can go crazy and die and stuff like that because it's brutal.
Do you still call them Superman?
No.
Okay.
What is other stuff I've played?
You tickled yourself with that.
I played both the Batman Arkham games since the last time we talked.
There's only two, don't worry.
How did those go?
Those are pretty good. The Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are both really good.
All I
Which
know
do you,
is
which do you
Batman
prefer?
and
It's kind of tough. I thought Asylum was really, really good up until literally the last boss fight. But the fact that Arkham City you can play as you can get skins that play as the Batman animated
Batgirl.
series
Oh.
characters, their designs, that makes it a whole lot better.
You can also play as Catwoman, and then murderers and thieves have the audacity to call you a bitch, and they're terrible, and they should go to school.
I don't mind those sections, playing as Catwoman, but I don't know.
Is playing as
like
Catwoman... Go ahead. I'll leave.
No, it's just she plays pretty similar to Batman, but at the same time, her sections have no real bearing on the story. They were literally just stuff so they could put in the online codes when that was still a thing. But yeah, her stuff doesn't really have that big of a effect on the story.
So it doesn't really flow with the story or whatnot. It's just kind of little
It's just
side bits.
you play through the first couple of missions. Well, actually, no. You start out as Catwoman, and then she gets captured, and then you play as Batman, and you rescue her from Two-Face, and you start doing some stuff, and then there's a scene where Batman gets knocked out for a minute, and then you play as Catwoman for 5 minutes, and then you go back to playing as Batman for a couple hours, and then all of a sudden you're back to Catwoman, and then you're back to Batman for a couple more hours and stuff like that. It's just she's not in it. Her sections aren't long enough to have really justified her being a playable character in my mind.
So basically what you're saying is she's like Zero in Mega Man X3.
Yeah.
So she has like a laser sword?
No, she has like a whip and some bolas and stuff like that, and she can climb on things, like she can climb upside down. That's kind of neat, but otherwise it's just kind of...
I feel like half of the reason Catwoman is playable in that game is just to do more like trophy shit with her climbing ability.
Yeah, probably.
She can climb? So she's like playing Knuckles.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty accurate.
I see. So
Knuckles was like cheating.
So if you combined Knuckles and Zero, you get Catwoman, is what we basically stated.
Sure. That works.
Oh, Noah. God damn it, what am I going to do with you?
Looking forward to, what's the one that's coming out this year?
Arkham Knight is the next one. That's the next one by Rocksteady. There was Arkham Origins, but...
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
I didn't even play it, but I know that didn't happen.
Yeah, like, the Rocksteady has said is that, like, that's not a part of their canon. Yeah, their continuity, so...
Retconned the fuck out of it.
Yeah, so, I'm looking forward to Arkham Knight, to see how that is. I might wait until they come out with the Game of the Year edition, so I don't have to worry about, like, buying all sorts of DLC and stuff.
Maybe they'll make the game finishable for a change.
Well, that wasn't Rocksteady.
That was Bebop?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, what do you mean make it finishable? I've never played them, so I don't know.
There was some progression blockers in Arkham Origins that could make it impossible to beat the game, apparently.
Yeah, something like that.
What? So you could basically break it like you could Oblivion?
Yeah, like you do one wrong thing and it would kind of mess up your game so you can't finish it.
I like that, you brought up Oblivion. I like that in Morrowind, you could make the game unfinishable, but it wasn't a bug. It was just you could murder every NPC, including the plot-relevant ones.
Yep. I didn't get anywhere in that game, because I'm like, alright, they won't let me kill anybody I need.
That game is really rough to play, but it's so much more expansive than Oblivion and Skyrim. But I tried to go back and play it every now and then, and I'm like, oh.
Somebody left such a stupid YouTube comment on some video, I just happened to see it, about Skyrim should be a movie. I wanted to smack the shit out of them.
What? That would be awful.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, that we can talk about something relevant in gaming. I don't know what to do with myself. What is this about Legend of Zelda getting a TV show?
Apparently it has been optioned by Netflix to be a live-action, like, Netflix original series.
It's going to be like House of Cards. They'll get Kevin Spacey to be Gannondorf. And he's like,
sure.
I want the Triforce for the power.
You could do worse, I guess.
Well, he has the Triforce of Power.
That's true. Remember when Ganon was a pig man? I miss that.
I miss that, too.
That's a different timeline.
You're so indifferent to Pigman Ganon.
Yeah, I mean, he's cool and all, but...
Oh, but he's not the Ganon for you?
Nah.
Is he not?
Timeline's some shit,
I actually kind of like, I like Wind Waker Ganon, and I like Twilight Princess Ganon, and I like Hyrule Warriors Ganon.
I see. Is Hyrule Warriors fun, Noah?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I actually need to start playing it again. I got distracted by other things like Bayonetta 2 and then like a bunch of PC games, so.
Are you going to use your amiibos in it?
Yeah, I have some amiibos I'll probably throw at it.
You can throw amiibos at it.
Is the Fox amiibo like not being made anymore?
I had heard that it might be one of the next ones that they're gonna stop producing. Because
I saw that on a certain planogram, it was the only one that's been deleted this week.
Oh. They might be phasing it out for some of the newer ones.
Actually, even though I don't have anything it can work with, I bought an amiibo this week, the Toon Link one, because it's amazing.
Oh, you actually managed to get one of the Toon Link ones?
Yeah, it's on my shelf. I tweeted a picture of it, because I'm cool.
You did. It looks so nice.
So is that thing really like taken off? Are people really use it, or are people just buying it to collect them? What's the deal with that?
People, yeah, it's a bit of everything.
Some people are buying all of one of them just to make people mad.
Yeah.
And sell them.
The whole Rosalina thing.
Yeah, God.
If I could, I would. I'd be that big dick.
Which one would you buy all of? Diddy Kong?
Yes, sure.
All those
Why not?
Jawless Diddy Kongs.
Oh, Diddy Kong.
But yeah, I have most of them. Like, I have an Ike on order, and I got an email today that my Toon Link and Chic order was canceled, but that's whatever.
Well, it was through Best Buy, huh?
No, that was a different site.
We had chic ones at the place as well. Maybe I need to get one now because apparently they're super.
You should get me one too, and I'll send you the money for it if you still have some.
All right, I think they're like I was about to say I think they're like $85 somewhere there.
I think that's a lie,
And
sir.
processing fees and
Supply and demand, finder's fee. You know, it's a lot of the middleman. I mean, he's got to send me food. It's crazy.
you can pay me with all that hot Hunks Fine Cajun Dining T-shirt money you're rolling in.
I told you that we sold another shirt like a couple months ago, so now there's like $4 waiting to go to a bank account someday.
Offshore Swedish bank account.
There's $4 sitting in my Redbubble account that I can't get to.
I'm telling you, we have to get. I mentioned this in my latest Pyromancer video. Like, we have to become a niche hipster YouTube channel, and then people will be buying up them T-shirts, and then they won't be rare or hipster anymore, and will be too mainstream, and we'll immediately lose it all.
Well, if you reach that point, though, then you can sell out.
Oh, I want to get to that point so bad. So bad. You have no idea. Oh, me oh my. I took another step towards being internet famous yesterday, the day before.
Oh, please do tell.
I mentioned on the Lost podcast that I managed to make Liam of Two Best Friends Play mad at me on Twitter, which was beautiful. If you're listening to this, go through Liam's Twitter. It's 2B. What is it? Something.
2BF Liam.
2BF Liam. A few weeks ago, he tweeted a picture of a bunch of Vita games he bought in an envelope, and there was like 5 of them, and he was like, "I sure do love Vita games, Quai de Su." And so I just replied with, "Is that the entire library?" You know, just being an asshole. And I was like, he's going to ignore that. And he responded with, yeah, that plus hundreds of other games. It's like, damn. I could feel the cold Canadian northern chill blowing over me. There's so much hate in his heart. But the other day, like yesterday, JonTron tweeted that he thinks it should be illegal to play Stairway to Heaven on subway platforms. And I just responded with, you should fight back by singing Highway to Hell. And he immediately favorited it. And now I'm internet famous.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to make Gam Grumps again.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Is that dead yet?
Oh, God.
You know what?
Did you see the picture of, this from MAGFEST, where apparently somebody, like some girl, like got, since both JonTron and McGroove were there, she managed to get them together to take a picture, and they just both look like they hate each other so much.
Has it ever come out yet? What the fuck?
There's been some, like, talk here and there, but I've never seen, like, an official thing.
Alright.
Speaking of MAGFest, it's in January's, right?
Yes.
It's close enough to here that I could potentially drive to it. Within the coming year, we need to figure out who is the best celebrity that's going to be there for me to drive up there and then just punch the shit out of. Because I guarantee it would make the Tenfei channel more well known if I punched a YouTube celebrity.
You're not wrong.
See?
I don't think it'll get you what you want, but
hey,
see, to get the real money, you got to stream and you have to wear a low cut shirt. That's the way it works.
I do have titties, so
it's very frowned upon now.
Is it really, Wes?
I mean, by Twitch, not by
Yeah,
Twitch viewers.
I was speaking of whatever the hell we're talking about. I was trying to figure out a way to actually get this podcast like hosted and get on iTunes and shit. and I was looking at potential free podcast hosting websites, and there was one that was like, yeah, you're limited, but it's completely free. The only thing is their software goes through your podcast, and if it finds anything it deems unacceptable or offensive, then you can't upload them. And I was like, well, that's fucking out. That website's dead to me.
That site's dead to me. Oh,
I mean, what have we said that's really offensive? Come on now.
let's see. We were talking about dragon dildos one time.
Dragon dildos aren't offensive, are they?
It's just love.
It was in the
Oh
Silmarillion.
God!
It was an economics lesson.
It was. Actually, it was. You're
was.
the Tenfei podcast historian.
I do my best.
I'm looking at the guests from this past MAGFest.
Are you trying to figure out optimum punching? It can't be
Yeah.
somebody who can fight back. So.
Do you want to punch Smooth McGroove?
Oh God! I
No!
couldn't do it.
I would
feel
have
too bad.
to unfollow you for that.
Oh Jesus! He actually started doing music again. I don't know what he did for like 6 months, but he was just going.
Wasn't he doing music for somebody else?
For their.
I thought he was like working for some like game company or something.
He got outsourced to China.
Damn
Oh,
Chinese.
sweet. That means he'll be in Final
Damn
Fantasy.
Chinese. Well, there's another offensive thing.
God damn it!
Well, they were the ones behind the Dragon Dildo conspiracy.
That's true. He was having to sing
Question
a cappella versions of songs from Chinese ROM hacks.
Oh, God.
Good times. Have either can mean more than two, right? Have either plus one of you ever played one of those little fake Game Joy Blocks 380s that has like 10,000 games on it, and they're all like Super Mario Brothers with slightly different graphics?
And then the Cheetah Man.
That's Action 52. It's completely different.
But no, I have not.
I should play Action 52 for the Tenfei channel because it's never been done before. I could be the first
Go
person.
for it.
Then I'll play Minecraft, and that's about it. Stay tuned for the new revamped Tenfei channel. It's all Cheetahman and Minecraft.
Oh God!
You're gonna get like the. I don't
You
know.
actually probably get a lot more views that way.
Yeah,
It's
if you did
true.
Minecraft, it's awful. I don't understand. What is the allure of Minecraft? I don't get it. I dig a hole and die.
I actually have Minecraft because I bought it way back in alpha when it was like interesting, like before it was the infinite mode and all this shit. And I loaded it up, and the very first thing I saw was a bunch of horses, and I was like, "This isn't my Minecraft. I don't remember this." The Minecraft world has left me behind.
Minecraft has changed.
It had.
But Fallout taught me that Minecraft never changes.
Fallout. Does anyone ever play
Fallout.
Fallout?
Fallout 4 is never happening. Get over it, nerds.
We don't need any more Fallout
Oh.
games. We got enough.
Do
We
we?
got
Do we?
Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh God!
I mean,
we
Rebirth
got
finally
PlayStation
crashed
2.
on me. That was weird. I've been having the most graphical glitches with Rebirth tonight. I guppied and just disappeared. I was just a blindfold.
You unlocked
Nice.
a new form. The invisible.
Apparently.
Doo-doo-doo.
It's worse than the Lost.
I
That's not true.
I still
Nothing's
haven't
worse than
unlocked the
Lost.
Lost. I haven't played
Go
Lost
unlock
in a
the
while.
Lost, Ben, and then you'll die because your fucking brain will pop.
I see. It sounds so lovely. Hey, I watched
It is.
Northernlion
It's
play
great.
The Lost, and apparently it's the easiest thing in the world.
I watched the first time Northernlion played the fucking Lost, and I about had a goddamn aneurysm in anger.
It's not like he only gets good items. He's got that Canadian RNG, son.
I mean, I've had some of that too. I uploaded a video just the other day of me having some fucking stupid luck with the RNG.
It was a time.
I had Brimstone and Spoonbender. What more could you possibly want?
Polyphemus.
6 pentagrams. That's about it.
6 pentagrams. That sounds like you'd be very powerful. Apparently something's going down in Hoshor Town because he's no longer coming to us live.
Hoshor Town.
Hoshor Town.
Population.
Take me to
Hoshor. Hoshor.
Population.
I was going to ask if you
pants.
played any video games. Have you played any video games other than Destiny and Final Fantasy 14?
Downloaded Black Flag, played a good portion of that. Did the multiplayer in it with the girlfriend, and we were having fun. We were thinking you could, because we thought it had like the co-op where you could like build up your ship and you can go in your friend's game and then you could go kill ships together. Haven't figured out how to do that. If you can even do that, don't think you can. Really shitty. So she finished the game, and I was like, well, I just did that to level it. Well, she didn't finish, but she hasn't 100%ed it yet. She's working on that.
I'm at 97.
She's in. Okay, she wants me to let you know she's at 97%.
When I get my platinum trophy, then I'm finished.
Yeah, what she said.
I see.
So, it's really fun. I think parts of it are kind of dumb. Like I don't really. I watched her storyline and I was just like, this is really dumb. I want to go back to tearing apart Italy and shit. That was fun.
Do you want to go to Paris?
No. The French are assholes.
Plus, if you go to Paris, you can get that disease that Japanese people get where Paris makes them sad.
Aww.
I
Is
forgot.
that no senpai?
It's true. There's no Jacques Senpai. What is that shit called? Let's look it
No
I
up.
know
one
what
knows.
you're talking about, but it's just a like
France syndrome. That can't be what it's called. I just made that up. It's called Paris syndrome.
It's called resting bitch face.
that's not that at all.
No, it's not shit.
It
crap.
says Japanese and Scottish visitors are especially susceptible. Is
What is
Huh.
it? Why? Why does it? I don't understand.
It's because Scottish people and Japanese people have very similar, genetics.
I guess.
What?
Maybe?
Well, they both, when Pangea was there, and then before
Yeah.
the dinosaur meteor hit and broke it apart, I think that's what happened. The island nation of Scotland and Japan broke apart and then drifted to opposite sides of Asia and Europe.
We all know our history, and it was the ice giants that did that, so it wasn't a meteor.
What people don't know is Game of Thrones is 100% historically accurate.
Does it take place on
100%.
Earth?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm getting conflicting,
You know what? Yeah.
very conflicting information there.
Tiebreaker? It could be.
One of you watched Game of Thrones and one of you watched Game of Thrones Brotherhood, so it's more faithful to the manga. Isn't the ending to the non-canon Full Metal Alchemist that Edward goes to like World War II Europe?
World War One Europe, but yes.
They're the same damn thing.
What?
There was a world war and people were in Europe. How do you not see this as the exact same thing? I mean, come on. If we're being honest
You're
here.
getting them confused, Hoshor, because in America, World War II was actually Doki Doki War 2. They just reskinned it.
Oh, see, that's what got me. That reskin gets me every time.
Alright, it's time to buckle down in serious debate. Which of the Sin homunculi was the coolest from Full Metal Alchemist?
I mean, you should already know my vote.
Is it for Titties?
Uh-huh.
Her name's not even Lust. Her name was Titties.
It's not
She's
Lust,
the
it's just-
representative of the deadly sin of Titties.
Oh,
Yeah.
Greed. Greed's the coolest.
Greed had the best scene when he met Edward, and he was like, hey, check this out, and he just stood there, he snapped his fingers, and one of his henchmen knocked his head off with a hammer.
Yeah.
And he
Greed is the coolest. No matter what anybody else says, Greed is the coolest.
I'm always been more of a gluttony man myself.
I didn't see that one
He
coming.
eat damn near anything.
He has a false gate in his stomach.
There you go. See? That's what I say sometimes. When I'm at the Golden
Yep.
Corral, and they're like, Benjamin, you getting up to get more mashed taters and corn? I'm like, son, I got a false gate in my stomach. You're done. Then I go over there where they put the steak on your plate, and I'm like, don't be scared of her now. You load her down. They have really good green bean casserole at the Golden Corral. Did you know that? Have you seen this?
Oh,
Have you heard
I
about
haven't
this?
had that in a long time. I gotta go to Golden Corral get that green bean casserole.
Or you can make it.
Well, that's what my girlfriend just said, but can we go there for Valentine's Day? We can do a green bean casserole with hearts.
Is that? I think we're about to hear Hoshor get dumped on the podcast.
She says I could go with a black guy and have half a heart? What? That's racist!
Well, what? So far, we're never going to get on that website now.
Oh, a black eye and half a heart. I don't know why I would take a black guy, but that was just odd to me.
I thought she was making a horrible sickle cell anemia joke that was in really poor taste.
Oh, that'd be great taste. I wonder what it tastes like. Chicken, you think?
Okay, I think we're done here.
This podcast is going off the rails quick.
It was a nice ending to the TENFENITY podcast forever.
It's not going to be forever.
It's never
We
forever.
It'll just be for like 3 more months.
We just got to get some structure again. We had stuff to talk about before. We had a game plan. By game plan, I mean, Ben went, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? This is what I did. Let's talk about this. And we go to Deep Dabadoo
The
and
problem
Link
is
and
none of us do
all sorts of stuff.
anything.
Well, we
I
could
fucking
log-
attend university, so that's my entire life.
Oh, do you attend university or do you go to college?
Both.
Nope.
What the fuck is supposed to be the difference there?
What country do you attend in?
Iceland. Did we not cover this just in this podcast?
Nope. What are you speaking American or are you speaking Icelandish slang?
Well, I'm speaking American because I'm talking to you ignorant Americans.
Oh.
Rusev is my hero.
He's Russian, though.
He's Bulgarian.
He totally steps you off.
He's Russian, and
No.
can you hear the air quotes on that Russian?
He's a citizen of the world. That's all there is to it. Alright, so here's what we'll do then to get some content in this shit. We'll start with Noah. Noah, describe your day from waking up this morning.
What?
I woke up and then got in the shower.
I thought you were going to say you woke up and then we're on this podcast. I'm like, damn, if you didn't sleep in.
And then I went to work. I worked for a couple of hours. Then I came home. And then I had my car towed. And
Whoa, what happened to your car?
It's having some heating, some coolant issues.
You just said so nonchalantly, like, yeah, I went to work, had my car towed, was gonna eat some toast, just totally skipped over that.
I mean, there's not much I can really do about it other than try and get my car fixed, so.
You know, fought some ninja terrorists, no big deal. Had
Yeah.
lunch.
I defused
you guys do that?
over dinner.
Describe
It
the
was-
guy that towed your car. Was he like Tow Mater?
I bet he
No,
was
he was
a big burly guy.
a little shorter than me, but he had a very thick beard.
I see.
So it was basically you in the winter.
Maybe?
Is that, and then he towed your
But then,
car
and then I
for
played
3 hours?
a little bit of video games and then I'm here.
Did you play the games you just described to us?
Yes.
I see.
I played one of the video games I just described to you.
I see. That was. We're such exciting people. Who wants to go next?
Super excited.
Hoshor, you just volunteered. You're next.
I did. So, alright, all I did today is I woke up, jumped out of bed about, 15
And for
minutes
you,
early, and it was like, crap.
I don't believe that's an exaggeration. You probably
Oh, no,
really
it was-
jumped out of bed.
I said 15 minutes early is after 5 o'clock when I'm supposed to get up and actually out of bed. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I got up and I threw the covers off and I ran over to the alarm, or to my phone, and I was like, oh. And she's like, you still have time left. I was like, oh shit.
5 o'clock. Someone jolted up at 5:12 and you're like, oh shit, it's late. I was like, you got 3 more minutes to your next alarm. Go back to sleep. Then you got up.
Then I got up. Hey, this is not Hoshor +1 podcast. This is Anybody Who Talks podcast. So anyways, got up, went to work. Oh, I had to deal with this Middle Eastern man who apparently they are never wrong, even when they're doing crap wrong from the manual. They're like, oh, let me just put this bolt in, it will be good. And if it has it would work. If it doesn't, we change the bolt. And I was like, no, that's not how you do it. So anyways, it went.
You were working with Nico Bellic, it sounds like.
Yeah, he stopped in for a little bit. But anyways, Mr. Muhammad, that was actually his name too. Him and I almost got into it with him. That would have been very interesting and not well, because it's Monday and all the bigwigs are up in the offices, and that would have been awful. And, anyways, after a long, stressful day working with him for 10 hours, I then come home and almost pass out, put some clothes in some areas, change.
What? You just have a ritual where you pile your clothes around the room or something? Do you build snowmen in your house?
With the amount of clothes that we have, because we're trying to sort and take stuff like to the Salvation Army and stuff like that, help out the kids in need and everything, and basically minimize our stuff.
Are you trying to
min-max
max your wardrobe?
I am trying to min-max my wardrobe, but right now I've got way too much white holding me back. All those work shirts, got to get rid of them, pick them up a little bit of dark, a little more debt. It'll be great. But other than that, I came home, I was like, alright, I'm going to get on the video games. And then I just ended up sitting here just staring at my girlfriend's character running around and do stuff. And then you were like, doop-a-dop-a-doo, bleep blop, you want to do Skype? And I was like, word, homie, let's roll. And then we're here doing this now. Oh, and I petted cats.
Fun. 10 out of 10 day. Wood Groundhog's Day.
Oh, what if in Groundhog's Day all he did was just start petting some cats and was like, well,
I'm sure that was
tomorrow.
Somewhere.
He probably knows all the stray cats in that town because he apparently lived that day like tens of thousands of times.
Yeah.
But he never aged.
Well, no. He lived that day. I
did, but it wasn't fair that he was able to retain what he learned each day. It's ridiculous.
Well, then there'd be no point to the movie.
It'd be like Memento.
It'd just be the one day.
It'd be the same 10-minute day, like in movie time, over and over, and then the credits roll, and Hoshor Hoshor stands up and is like, "Fucking masterpiece," and just starts clapping.
This is what I came to see. Yes, it would have been amazing.
That sounds riveting.
Oh.
How about you, Wes? What you up to today?
I had class, so I went to class and was very upset that I had to go to class.
What class was it? Underwater basket weaving? Fencing?
Exactly. How'd you know?
Underwater fencing?
I also had... No. Just regular fencing. I actually do have a walking class. That sucks.
Walking class?
Yeah, mandatory physical fitness and wellness courses.
I see.
Because America is fat.
Do you fail, or if you start running?
You would actually probably get in trouble for running, yes.
Damn.
What?
Because it's a walking class.
Because you're getting too far ahead. You're wrecking the grave curve when you start running.
Exactly. You gotta walk a mile in a certain amount of time. If you're running, you're cheating. You're cheating the mile.
But heart rate up, lose.
No, it's about walking.
It's about walking. Do you guys subscribe to Walking Magazine?
Does Christopher Walken teach the class? He's like,
oh God, I wish.
I'm going to need you to maintain 3 miles an hour. That's my Christopher Walken. I'm very sorry.
Oh, goodness.
Had an exam today. That didn't go well.
Was it the
I don't feel it went well, at least. No, I don't have another one of those until the end of the semester. And then I have to walk a mile. As fast as possible.
I don't understand this fucking class of walking. Why is it even offered? Do people not know how to walk? Obviously, they're going to class. They know how to walk. Why would we teach a walking class?
I've seen some people that look like they don't know how to walk.
Well, it's also like, people like one guy, there's a bigger guy in the class, he's had 2 knee surgeries, so he couldn't be in aerobics or, a running class.
Jesus.
So just have like a cripples class.
Jesus. Alright, so, Ben, what were you saying about having a place to upload this as long as we weren't offensive?
Maybe,
Whoops.
Maybe nobody who's crippled will ever listen to it. It's our only hope.
Listen, it's not that I don't like crippled people. Some of my best friends are crippled people.
That's not an excuse.
Listen, my best friend. I mean, he could have been crippled, but he wasn't. So I think that's close enough.
So,
Yep.
So
I can
after you failed your exam, Wes, what'd you do then?
walk.
I went home after that point, and I had some of those breadsticks that I had twice today already.
Where are they from? Oh, we don't know the place because it's in Iceland and no one lives in Iceland.
Exactly. You know.
The name probably has a bunch of R's and J's and K's in it and not enough vowels.
Shh. Don't be racist, Ben.
It's not racist. It's nationalist.
Don't be xenophobic.
Oh, okay.
What about Xenosaga?
Xenoblade. Xenogears.
Is that the material covered in that game? Xenophobia?
No one has ever played one of those games. They're 700 hours long and you would die.
I started to play Xenoblade. I got like an hour into it.
And then?
That was it.
But it's so rare.
I realized what I was doing with my life and just turned it off.
No, it's on the Wii, and like after a certain point I couldn't really play the Wii anymore because it was standard definition and it just kind of hurt to look at.
Oh, you're too high society for the Wii, excuse us.
I really like the Wii, it's just...
Play it on the Wii U, doesn't it like upscale?
I'm not sure actually, I don't know if it really does, but they're re-releasing it on like the 3DS, so I'll get an even less definition.
Yeah, so you're gonna get an even worse looking version and be like, I'm totally gonna
But it will be smaller, and therefore it will look better, because it's like not on a big ass TV.
Is that like the law of graphic dynamics?
I
Something
don't
like
think that's how that works.
You'd be surprised.
I would be, but I won't be.
But other than that, I didn't really do anything. I played some Isaac.
Did you get all the good items?
No, I actually lost my run.
Just
Trying to beat the challenges.
Oh yeah, I played through all those. It would have probably been a good idea to record them and put them on my YouTube channel, but I didn't.
That literally could have been a segment in itself.
Some of them are very frustrating.
That's why they would have been the best.
Yeah, I'm currently working on. I got Demo Man left. I got Family Man. That's annoying.
The one thing I ever did video game related that I didn't record for my channel that I regret the most was the 2.5 hours I spent beating Mile High Club on Veteran in Call of Duty 4. You want to talk about some shit being yelled? Of course, this is back like I don't even know if I had the Dazzle recorder yet, so it would have been in fucking pristine OMG Hunk vision.
Nice.
I love that the way Mile High Club works is you aren't there to kill people. You are there to run forward and dive behind chairs and cover your head while your invincible godlike AI teammates just hover in the room and end all life. Like, I wish there was a way to get them to walk ahead of you because they literally are invincible and they one-shot everything.
Jesus Christ.
They need you to take point, though. Oh, and you have to shoot the guy that's holding the VIP at the end, I guess. There is that.
Man, remember that game you were just talking... Modern Warfare 1. Remember how good that shit was?
It was so fresh. I was like, the hell's that? I remember I was over at Matthew's, Garrett's older brother's, and he had it for PS3. And he was like, you should try that new Call of Duty. And I was like, Call of Duty? What am I, a grandpa? And he's like, no, it's new Call of Duty. And I was like, candy for breakfast. He was like, it's Reese's Puff cereal. Why is no one interrupting me?
Because I want to see how far this would go.
Yeah, I wanted to see where this was going.
Oh, Jesus.
He's like grasping at straws. Please stop me. It's like watching somebody walk off a cliff, and you're just like, I want to see how this ends. It's awful, but yet you can't stop looking.
Is that really an appropriate analogy?
Well, okay, maybe it's like a train wreck. You just can't stop watching until all the cars are stopped.
I see. I just imagine you standing on the sidelines while a train derails and flies all to hell, and you're just standing there with like your hand on your chin, looking poignantly, and at the end you just silently nod once and walk away.
Not a good job. I'm out. I do a little skip.
Do they have trains?
Skip up
where
and
you're
jump.
at now, Hoshor?
Yeah, there's trains. There's actually a like a, I don't know, some kind of little depot or something behind near the little airport I work
You
at.
mean a depot?
Yep, all the depots.
You should rob one of the trains on a horse.
See, I saw a video on that. It didn't work out very well. And by a train, I mean a carriage. And by a carriage, I mean a standing still car.
It's a lot of metaphors in this story.
And by horse, I mean John Marston.
Oh yes, Jon Marston.
No, why?
I don't want to talk about it.
That
the good
ending
times.
was amazing.
The good old days of Red Dead Redeemed.
That was a recent highlight.
It was good.
You
times.
can call it a highlight.
Semi-recently highlighted, I should say.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that was funny. That was good times.
What else has everybody been up to? I've started a new recording project, but I haven't uploaded any of it yet.
Oh man.
Are you covering a Prince album?
Exactly. How'd you know? No, I'm recording The Last of Us on PS4.
Just the last of us. We can make it if we try. Just the last of us.
We really are
Just
the
the
Final
last
Fantasy 13 too.
Oh God, not. Oh God, Final Fantasy.
I watched my girl play through The Last of Us, and it really is like a movie. It looked kind of cool to play, but it wasn't like a real game that I would play. But there was
It wasn't
definitely-
Final Fantasy 14.
So I started playing Terra as well, a little bit.
Hoshor, you have a problem.
I do.
How kawaii is your character?
She's not kawaii at all, as I got death daggers from my girlfriend.
Oh shit, you want to say she has the biggest tits in the room. Man.
Well, I mean, big tits aren't necessarily kawaii, Hoshor. I believe I'm your relationship attorney.
Oh,
Like my client.
you know what?
Go ahead.
What's really creepy about that game is you could literally be like, what was it, like this little girl with like a rabbit ears or something? Remember that? That's really creepy. Like, yeah, it's super creepy. Like, it's like, hey, I want to be a pedophile, but I don't want to get caught. Let me play Terra.
What?
It's awful because you can make your own little people, and it's awful.
I see.
Okay.
So you
Think of like Tarus, but make them child size and not like little potato sacks, and that's what they are.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that the little bunny girl character is actually a 7,000-year-old demon. I'm preparing this for your legal statement when I'm representing you in court.
Yes.
Like, Your Honor, have you in fact read the Disgaea lore? I want to.
But it's all right.
I want to play the Disgaeas after 2. I've only played the first 2.
I've never played any nor heard of it.
Disgaea
Yeah.
over here. It's like it's like Final Fantasy Tactics, except the max level is 9,999, and you can go inside of your gear and your weapons and fight enemies to level them up, and you can solve geo puzzles on the battlefield to do damage, and you can throw characters at each other, and it's fun. Yay. What you do?
Fun.
Well, the max level is 9,999, but of course, you get your character to that level then you can transmute them back to level 1, but with stat bonuses, and then re-level them to 9,999, and then do that again. You know, get a little bit of time. Just saying.
This is grinding the video game.
God, I never want to play this guy.
I played the first 2. The stories are delightful. They're very anime. Ooh, good. You can get,
now, though,
yeah, go ahead.
after hearing Tenfei, the lawyer man voice, I just want to see you play Phoenix Wright games.
I love Phoenix Wright games. I don't know if they work good for an LP.
They wouldn't unless you're like you have a team to voice act the fucking game.
Maybe they did release some on the Wii, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so because I think that's back when like Darkside Phil played them.
I feel like I could play like the first Phoenix Wright game, like maybe with Levi or someone because he's never played them before, and I could be like, yeah, this is where your 17-year-old assistant girl channels a dead person and takes on their physical appearance, and he'd be like, oh, of course.
Of course. Remember when Darkside Phil was a thing?
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Is he going to be at MAGFEST? Because I think I know who I'm going to punch.
Alright, we're starting to make plans for MAGFEST next year.
You cannot pretend that I wouldn't gain so many subscribers if I punched Darkside Phil.
You would.
I have to punch him. You think I could lure him into international waters?
Maybe? I don't know. I don't know the guy's life story.
I see.
What if it turns out in like a year that I'm just secretly the biggest Darkside Phil fan?
Why like a year? Like what's the holdup?
I'm just slowly destroying the Tenfei channel, one podcast at a time.
Oh.
I think
You're secretly the biggest competitor.
You really have to.
You better hurry before Hoshor gets done destroying it. There's not going to be anything left.
One of you or Darkside Phil, one of you is going to blow up and become super huge. I'm trying to make sure it's not you, obviously.
It'll be me.
The secret Noah channel. That's the one you got to look out for.
Oh, I hung out with several Tenfei alumni the other night at a computer LAN. That stands for Local Area Network.
Did you?
Those things don't exist anymore, Ben.
Who
Why
were
are
you
you
hanging out with?
I went down and hung out with James Johnson, who I played Faster Than Light with, which I want to do more Faster Than Light with, but I can't because he's impossible. He's like the Johnny Depp, not Johnny Depp, the other guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. He can only go on land once a year, or once every 80 years, or I don't know.
Davy Jones?
Him, that guy. He was
Window
there.
Bloom.
It was actually at his place, and Tommy was there, and Garrett was there, and Brian Lee and his lady friend Michelle, who were the ones that bought me Resident Evil HD Remake, they were there, and all of them were playing Heroes of the Storm, the like Blizzard MOBA.
Were you just sitting in the corner crying? Like what was?
I was just walking around and like hanging out with my friends and pointing out things and laughing and eating pizza.
And asking why they hate you and never want to come over and record videos.
I'm so shunned. I should have like locked them in there. And I was like, you ain't leaving until we play through 3 or 4 video games. I need to just start carrying my entire computer and recording setup with me so I can just make Tenfei videos on the fly. I look like a one-man band. Just covered in laptops and shit. If only I was a cyborg. Noah, how long until we get to the cyborg future?
Like 20 years.
Aw.
Think YouTube will still be a viable career path for certain people in 20 years?
It'll be the new television.
There you go. Hoshor.
Twitch is going to overtake it.
Yes.
Okay, I assumed
maybe.
you had left.
No, I was here listening, learning, watching. Bullshitting.
I can't tell if you're doing a thing. You sound a little bit like
The only reason...
the butler from Mr. Deeds.
Yes, I love toast. Yes.
The only reason Hoshor actually wanted to be here was to listen to the podcast live.
He didn't want to wait for it to go on YouTube.
I was like, what, podcast? About to talk? No, I am there.
Hoshor, since you listen to the damn podcast over and over because you got some kind of mental problem, do you ever disagree with yourself in the past?
Shut up! She says I have a mental problem as well. Do I ever disagree with that? Sometimes I do, but I'll tell you what. Sometimes I am completely on point, and I think everyone else was wrong. But the podcast still proves that I am incorrect.
Everyone else was wrong. Have we had a bunch of major disagreements with Hoshor that I didn't acknowledge at the time? What?
Just little things where Noah shoots me down or Ben's like, you're retarded. And I'm just sitting here crying to myself asleep.
What? Do you have narcolepsy too?
That would explain the strange silences every now. And then, what? What happened? Anybody do this new fancy thing called Loot Crate? Have you ever heard about this? You know about this?
Oh God, are we sponsored by
TENFENITY
Loot Crate?
Podcast.
Yeah. Hoshor, did you get me a damn sponsor?
The TENFENITY Podcast, sponsored by Iceland.
Come to Iceland.
Get some of that vodka that's charcoal filtered. No, it's filtered through volcanic rock. That's some
It's just
hardcore
filtered
shit.
literally through volcanoes.
I want to sell unfiltered vodka. I'm going to call it Marlboro Red vodka.
I'm pretty sure they just call it gasoline.
I'm just going to become a moonshiner.
Oh,
Ooh. Noah, you're up in Virginia. We could be moonshiners.
We could.
Son.
I'm in Illinois, so I can do the flatland moonshine, which is nothing because
You're in Illinois. That means that you got to break it down from Canada.
You can...
That's right, the long haul.
You can do the deep dish moonshine.
I'm in Indiana, so we deal mostly in crystal meth.
You're right next to Kentucky. You can go get whiskey.
Shit, if you dissolve crystal meth in the moonshine, that'd be some addictive shit.
You're in Kentucky, you can get some of that famous jelly.
If I go to Kentucky, I can find the one Bojangles in Kentucky.
It's the capital of Kentucky.
Wait.
Oh yeah, we looked that up, didn't we?
Wait, what? There's the original Bojangles in Kentucky? Oh, there's only one in Kentucky.
There's literally one Bojangles.
That's right, baby. We gotta make a trip to Kentucky and go to the only Bojangles there.
Are there none in Illinois?
A, because there's none here, and B, because it's fucking Bojangles. Gotta go get a cheddar bow biscuit with a side of a bowberry biscuit. Yes, we can get blueberry biscuits and all the deliciousness that goes along with them. Rub them on our butt.
You two are making me uncomfortable with how excited you are about Bojangles. So that's a goddamn feat.
There are no Bojangles in Illinois or Indiana or fucking Iceland, but there's one in Honduras.
Yeah.
I remember that from last time.
Kentucky has a city called London? That's false advertising.
There's a Hollywood in Florida.
There's a Hollywood in Florida? Yes. Yeah.
I think I've been to Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah, my cousins grew up at, they went to school at Hollywood Christian, and now my one cousin teaches there.
Speaking of...
Anybody going to be doing any traveling soon?
Next month, apparently, I'm supposed to go to, I think I'm going to India, actually.
Just
what? For the Ant Part event, remember? I'm either going to Indiana or Kentucky or something.
I thought you said you were going to India, and then you said you're going to India for an ant card event. I'm like, damn.
Jesus.
We take that shit serious. We're going overseas, baby. Pack your bag light, though.
Good luck.
Don't shit in the toilet.
Oh, well, I gotta find a toilet to shit in first. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go do an Amp Guard event or maybe it's in Kentucky.
Ant Guard?
Amped Guard, where I dress up in funny clothes, hit people with foam weapons, and...
It's his LARP thing.
Yeah, it's a LARP.
Oh, God. You have to report it.
What? It's all over my... Oh, you don't look at my Facebook because you hate me. But, yeah, I guess I'll record some. I have my GoPro with me and to strap it on and get it on. And, do cool...
You'll be there with a GoPro on and they'll be like, what devilish magic is this?
It's not.
I shall defeat you,
Do I
vile
barter-
necromancer, for I am the magician lord.
Do you barter with the Wiccans? What is this strange thing on your chest? You are a devil.
You've become the butler
Yeah.
for Mr. Deeds again.
I can't help it. I only know that voice and like
No,
and other voice.
You had your signature voice, the old Jewish woman.
Oh, good God. Now listen, when he goes into his LARP thing, you just gotta pretend and be happy for him, sweetheart. Look, he's gonna dress funny. He's gonna swing his swords and his little swords and daggers and things. Just let him be. He'll play with the boys and he'll come home to you. Eventually, he'll get straight out.
Hoshor, what's your, when you LARP, what's your build? You got a lot of decks. Can you fast roll?
I go sword and tank. Lots of fast rolling. My sprint is very low.
I don't know, but you got that dark wood grain ring, because I see you do flips all the time.
I do. That, oh God, you have no
goddamn
idea.
scrub.
Oh.
Just get you a lightning's V-hander to go with it, and be like, oh, Hans, I'm the
I tried,
LARPing,
my
so good.
My strength isn't high enough. I can't use it.
You need to find a cow pasture and farm some dung pies so you can toxic people.
Oh God, maybe I'll just use human pies.
Oh.
Get the gold armor from Shovel Knight.
Oh God, that gold armor makes it just look a man just dashing as all get out. You getting that, and it's a good day. Go ahead, have a.
I'm staring at Noah's portrait, waiting for him to light up so he can explain how gold would make a terrible armor.
It would make a terrible armor because it's very heavy and very soft.
But what if the person was using gold weapons?
That's still...
They'd cancel out.
What if it was lightning gold? You know, the best gold. Oh, what if it's white gold? I heard that is stronger than steel. Tell me about it.
White gold? I think white gold's an alloy. So
Yeah.
I think it technically could be stronger than regular gold, but still pretty soft.
Alloy McNeil.
Well, you can't. Well, isn't like when they put gold and they make like gold watches and blah blah blah. If it's not plated, they still have to do an alloy because, like you said, gold by itself is very very weak. But the resale value is very high, so therefore it would be a good investment for somebody to have golden armor, just not wear it. Maybe put a little tape on the back of it to strengthen it up. It'll be good to go.
What?
What if you had armor made out of mercury?
Will it be rising?
Sure. Can you boil mercury?
You'd... What?
Can you boil mercury and make mercury vapor?
Yes.
Oh Jesus!
I think so.
Science. It's a goddamn mystery.
I mean, I don't know why you'd want to do that.
Because science.
See, the man knows his shit.
That's right. Now, back in World War II with the Germans, oh shit, they had us going left and right. We had to leave Poland
What?
and everything.
I was perfectly fine with you being an old Jewish woman until you had to actually bring it to the goddamn Holocaust.
Well, where do you think? Look, we were going through the war times, and me and your father, we were just trucking on through. And the Nazis came through, they're like, yo, homie, gotta get out. And I'm like, listen here, I just got my hair done, I got the net on, you're not getting me to go out. And they're like, if you don't leave, we're gonna send you to this camp, you can work there for a little bit, but you're not gonna get paid too much. Well, we weren't falling for that, so we went down, we took our watch shop and rosary down to the other end, and we were fine down there for a while.
Did you say you opened a Roses?
A rosary. I took our rosaries out. We made rosaries because we're Catholic. Don't you know about that? My God, we're Jewish. We're Catholic Jews. That's all we are. I'm going to hell in so many ways.
This podcast. I don't know what's happening. Somebody's linking a deviant art picture in the chat, so we're all dead.
That's
I
me.
don't understand.
They're so fancy.
But it looks like Mario's taking a shit.
That's Paper Mario. Oh, for people at home, Noah linked custom amiibos of Paper Mario and Paper Luigi.
Jesus Christ, my God. I saw somebody put up a YouTube video of the Mario timeline. Because we have a Zelda timeline now, so we don't have to fight that battle anymore, apparently.
Well, there we go.
The Mario timeline.
Somebody has tried to map out a Mario timeline.
There isn't one. What are they doing?
There is not.
There's no reference to time at all in Mario.
They still tried.
That's
And I
'cause
think,
there's-
like, the next to last things to have, like, not at the very end, but near the very end was, like, fucking, I don't remember now. It was, like, 2 weeks ago. I gotta find the video and I'll send it to you guys on Steam or Skype or whatever. It's fucking
Please
nuts.
don't.
It's a fucking rabbit hole, and I'm taking you down with me.
Dragged into the murky depths. How about video games? Aren't they something?
Video games. I got Transistor for free.
Sports, TV, sports.
I got Transistor for free because of PlayStation Plus, so I played a little bit of that. It seems like it's a good game.
So is GG. Tell us
Yeah.
about it. Sell
No
us
wor-
on it.
Sell us on it. So you play as this random redhead who apparently has lost everything. Spoilers. And that includes her voice. So she may or may not have been some sort of singer,
Or a mermaid.
songstress, or actress, or mermaid, yes. And she gets a sword that does all the talking for her. And then you destroy shit with your sword and go seeking revenge, because, as we know, nowadays, all heroes must seek revenge.
Yep.
There you go.
It sounds beautiful.
It looks good.
Someone sent me a text message. It's so important.
I'm gonna be traveling next month for spring break to a little event, a little wrestling event.
Uh-oh.
Alright,
Looking forward to that.
BRB. While you talk about wrestling.
Wait,
Alright. I am going... What?
I was about to ask where you're going.
Oh, well, I'm about to tell you where I'm going.
Oh.
I'm going to Ohio.
Uh-huh.
Just gonna pop over there. There's this little brand of wrestling you might have heard of. They're kind of good. They're doing their first show outside of Florida, and I have tickets to go. I have second row seat tickets to go to the first NXT live show outside of Florida.
Nice.
I'm fucking excited.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
So that was a birthday present to me from my aunt.
I thought you were going to say to me, from me.
To me from me. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm also going to the meet and greet beforehand that includes
damn.
0 people from NXT, for some reason.
Huh.
It includes, in order of, how should I do this? In order of current wrestling talent, from least to most, it includes Big Show, the Ryback,
Wow.
and Ric Flair.
Oh, jeez.
That Ric
So,
Flair.
I'm gonna play a game and try to judge just how many drinks he's had that day.
Nice.
You know. To be fair, meeting Ric Flair as a wrestling fan, nothing to stick your nose up at.
No.
The other two I
Big
take or leave,
Triple.
but,
I actually watched a bit of, oh jeez. I have to look at my Facebook page to actually see what it is. Because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Noah watched wrestling again? Oh god.
I watched a
Uh-oh.
match
A
of,
match. Alright.
It was back in 99.
hold on.
He'll find it.
No, I
Van-
found it.
Van-
I just don't remember what the actual, the
Promotion?
yeah. Like, it's Japanese. Watch actual Japanese wrestling.
So, it was either New Japan or Pro Wrestling Noah.
I think it's
I'd
New
assume.
Japan.
Why are you not, you of all people, not watching Pro Wrestling Noah?
Yeah. But I watched a 4-way, tag team 4-way match. So 4 tag teams.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, that's a lot
the
of
Young
fucking
Bucks,
Yeah.
Time Splitters.
Ooh, time splitters. I'm back.
The
I'm
tag
back in the
team.
conversation now. So do y'all
Tag
like
team
Future
wrestlers that
Perfect?
go by the name Time Splitters.
Yeah, the Time Splitters, who are awesome. They have a Back to the Future theme. They roll up here. I'll post it in the chat. But yeah, Young Bucks versus Forever Hooligans versus Time Splitters versus Suzuki Gun. New Japan Pro Wrestle, yeah.
Yeah. That would have been Wrestle Kingdom 9, I believe. The opener to Wrestle Kingdom 9, I think.
Wrestle Kingdom 8.
8? Oh, okay, this is the match from a year ago, because they had a 4-way tag match this year at Wrestle Kingdom 9, and it included the Young Bucks, the Forever Hooligans, I believe the Time Splitters, and maybe someone else, not Suzuki Gun.
But they do a 8-man suplex, which is great.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Is that where
Video's right here.
8 people get on each other's shoulders and then just suplex?
Well, like, 2 guys go to suplex 1 guy, or like a backdrop, or whatever, and then like another guy comes up to help out his tag team partner, and then 2 more, and then eventually it's 2 sets of tag teams on either side, and then one side gets suplexed. It's like 13 minutes in, I think.
This sounds like actually entertaining. Why is this not R wrestling?
You should be exposed to NXT. You would understand. I recommend NXT to all wrestling fans. It's on Hulu Plus. It's on the internet. You can find it for free. Come on. They're actually having their next special on Wednesday. So if Ben had waited 2 days to do this, I would not be here, because I would refuse to be anywhere but on the network watching that live.
I would have said something indignant about I'm eating French fries.
Well, I mean, come on. French fries are good.
They're Checkers French fries, but they came out of a frozen bag, because they ain't got any Checkers around here.
None? Not a one? I've got one in Iceland.
Not in the area. I saw one in Jacksonville.
Yeah, there's a couple nearby, but...
Oh man, speaking of Jacksonville, I feel so bad because I cheated on Bojangles. For the first time ever, I went into a Popeye's chicken.
Oh, Popeye's is pretty good.
It was fucking amazing.
I haven't had Popeye's chicken.
It was very good.
A friend of mine swears by it. A friend of mine that got engaged last night. That was weird.
Also, I tried something very dangerous. At Popeye's in the little condiment area, they've got packets of their, like, fry seasoning, like their combination or whatever spices, and I grabbed, like, a handful. Well, anyway, on another day, I had gotten Bojangles in the drive-thru, and I'd gotten some of their fries, but unfortunately, they had just cooked them, so they were still hot, but they didn't put enough seasoning on them, so they were kind of plain. And then I saw the Popeye spices there, like in the thing on in my console of my Jeep, and I was like, "Do I dare? Like, what do I dare play French fry God?" And so I poured it in there and shook it up, and they were fucking delicious.
Nice.
Don't tell Mr. Bojangles. He'll come.
Oh, he already knows.
He'll come after me.
He knows Ben, and he is pissed.
I see.
What else has been going on recently out in the world? I got into a conversation earlier about Christian movies.
I saw you tweeted something about that.
Because I saw a written review about one that's coming out this weekend that's supposed to be like the opposite of 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, that's all sorts of groans.
Yeah. Groans all around.
Is it just vivid description of people having sex in the missionary position with the lights off solely for the purpose of procreation?
No, it's, celibacy and all that good shit.
Oh, so they went to one of them events and got celibacy and could see the past where you see Giovanni's son?
What?
I assume Wes knows the joke I'm making.
It's a celibacy joke.
Oh.
I win.
It honestly caught me off guard for a minute there.
That's how you know it's a good joke.
Oh.
Ben fucking dropping Pokemon knowledge I didn't know he had. I didn't know he acknowledged that Celebi was a Pokemon.
Well, I mean, in the anime.
Right, in the games there's only that, 151.
And Hoot,
yeah, of course. I'm gonna do a Hoot only run, just for you, Ben.
But you had to have 6 Hoots.
No. I should do 3 hoo-hoots and 3 mankeys.
It's too powerful.
6 mankeys.
I haven't recorded Pokemon in a long time.
Have you played Pokemon?
Did a little bit. Actually, I'm actively Nuzlocking on like the Nuzlocke forums again, and doing screenshot runs.
There were Nuzlocke forums?
Yes.
Of course there is.
And people will like write stories about their Nuzlocks and give the games more plot and shit.
Well, that's what the
Or they'll try to be funny.
That's what the original Nuzlocke was, right?
Yeah. There's one guy who's done like fucking... Jesus, I'm afraid to count how many runs he's done. He's done so many connected stories of Nuzlocks that he has them separated in 2 different sagas.
Jesus Christ.
Saga Frontier. This is getting bad. Hoshor, why aren't you saving this podcast?
This Japanese wrestling was the most entertaining thing I have seen in a long time.
Japanese wrestling is awesome. Most people who don't like wrestling would like Japanese wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to say anything because you guys talking about video games and that, but I watched that and it was just, there was a lot going on.
Because, like, a lot of Japanese pro wrestling is less about the story and more about, like, the actual wrestling and the gimmicks. Like, they have a bunch of gimmicks and stuff, but they don't, like, do story, or a whole lot of story to go along with it. They just, like, yeah, we're dressed up like this because it makes us look cool or goofy or whatever.
Yeah, well, they don't have, like, a serialized television show that they put on.
Yeah, that too.
They just kind of are like, hey, you know these awesome guys that have been doing shows recently? We're going to put them on pay-per-view and have them do this big match. Come watch. It's also a lot more brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But not in the, like, ECW brain you with a steel chair sort of way.
I don't know, they can get...
Usually.
Yeah.
It's more accidentally break your neck because, you know,
Yeah.
I do a finisher that makes you do the opposite of what you're trained to do.
Yeah. I was watching the newest Botchamanias today, and there was a segment from some Japanese wrestling where they had tied a bunch of halogen bulbs, like the long bulbs, like a bunch of them around the inside of the ring, so if you get, like, thrown into the ropes, you would just run into a bunch of, like, halogen bulbs.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
That's how they like it. They like it
They like it rough.
hardcore.
50 Shades Grey is actually going to do huge box office numbers in Japan. God.
Christ, that fucking...
No, you seem to have some feelings on this subject. Why don't you,
It's terrible. It's so bad.
That it's
Why?
good.
No. It's just terrible. It's just a movie about a terrible abusive relationship that everybody wants to think is some sort of romantic gesture.
Like the
You talking about
Twilight.
50 Shades of Grey?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I've read things on that.
That's what the kids are into nowadays, is self-destructive relationships. They love that shit.
Well, them vampires and werewolves, they're all about it.
But
And
it's
now
not even about, like,
BDSM.
vampires and werewolves. They had to take all of that out so the writer could actually publish her book.
So, does she
Yeah.
make up, like, another mythical creature to not...
No.
No,
It was
this one
literally
is
just
a
slash
dick.
fiction about Twilight characters, and then, like, it got so many hits or whatever that she decided, I want to publish it, so she just took out all of that.
Do you remember, Noah, on a recent Comedy Button, where they discovered a new type of erotic fiction? A
Yes.
genre.
What?
Yeah.
Tell Hoshor all about it.
It's about animals or items turning into people, and then romance.
Is that what you call it? And then romance?
That's the
It's,
PC term for
loving-
banging.
I can see
It's-
Noah talking to a chick. Yeah, let's go back to my place, watch a movie, and romance.
Hey, now, let's be fair. Noah's a smooth motherfucker.
He is. That's what I'm saying. He could say that, and it would work. He should be like, "Hey, girl, You want to go romance? And she's like, I would love to romance you. And then off they romance.
It's true.
He's like,
That
you want to
works.
select the correct options for my conversation tree? No, I want BioWare to make a game that's just you.
Really?
Yes.
I'd play it.
Just you, but with Levi Sprite.
Sprite?
You'll have to mod that.
It's a,
Yes.
Is this a Super Nintendo game now?
Well, that caricature, or whatever you call it, or however you say it, of Levi was amazing, and I think a game that would, supposed to...
Oh, his caricature from work.
Yeah, that. I thought that was, spot on. That
Where
was
he looks like an archer character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, when I was in the kitchen earlier, I grabbed a Mike's Hard Smashed Apple Ale. And it's very refreshing.
That's a series of words.
That's...
Why is it hard smashed? I don't understand.
Well, because until they froze them, then smashed them, and then put them in a bottle.
Or actually, it's a can, and it's a tiny can. I had no idea.
Oh, God! It's a fucking can?
So here's the thing. I was walking down I must have got turned around when I was trying to find broccoli and soybeans, but I ended up in the liquor aisle of the grocery store, or the wine and beer aisle, because
I'm about to
of
say,
blue
you don't have
laws or
liquor.
whatever. Fucking North Carolina. But anyway, and I saw they had on sale 12 packs of Mike's, that makes Mike's lemonade, apple ale, and I was like, well, everything that's apple tastes good. Like, I'd eat anything that tastes like apples. And so I bought it, and I was like, son, 12 pack, and I got it home and opened it and pulled out the can, and it's like something Bilbo Baggins would drink. It is the tiniest little 8 fluid ounce can.
You got V8 cans.
They're so tiny. It's a 12 pack, but it's got 2 pints in it when you combine them all. I feel so cheated.
So basically, you got one of Gene's big glasses and poured all 12 into
I'm gonna
it.
have to buy a Foster's just to make up for it because they're goddamn huge. But it does taste good.
Oh man.
I'm a big fan of apple-based alcoholic beverages. I think I've gone on record before.
You have. We should get the Tenfei channel to sell alcohol.
I already thought about moonshining. Hunt's Fine Cajun Moonshine.
Liquor on Sundays.
Oh, that was the best business plan I ever had. I completely forgot about liquor on Sundays.
It could totally be a podcast. Liquor Sundays.
What happened to the one? That way it could be LOS, the Lost Podcast. People who are searching for Resident Evil 4 stuff could accidentally stumble across it.
Oh man.
Awesome.
How has this not come up yet? Maybe it shouldn't, but a fucking Power Ranger killed a man recently.
What?
Yeah.
Power Ranger. We talking original, or are we talking Power Rangers in space?
Even later than in space. We're talking Wild Force.
It was Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. She fucked a man to death.
No. Well, that is true. Oh.
Back in the day, she could have. I mean, come on.
She looks exactly the same as she did back then.
She does. She looks like she aged 10 years.
I saw her on a television show recently, some Canadian television show about Canadian SWAT. And yeah, she's on that. It was really weird.
Does she hold up? Does she look about the same?
No, yeah, she looks pretty much the same.
What was the white/green ranger/red ranger's name?
/black. He was a Black Ranger initially.
Was Tommy?
Yeah, it was Tommy.
Jason David Frank is gonna fight CM Punk, maybe.
That should be a thing that actually happens.
I saw a YouTube video the other day, and I believe if I'd seen it as a kid... What? Oh, did I interrupt somebody? No? Okay. I'm so used to interrupting people, I was like, oh, did somebody want to finish the story? If I had seen this as a kid, it might have made me want to watch Power Rangers. I don't know what series it was from, but it was just this clip of a Red Ranger. I didn't recognize him. And he was fighting 900 goddamn little putty dudes, and he just kept turning into different Power Rangers and zip-zopping and bopping around the room and yelling shit and fucking destroying everything. And I was like, This could just be the show. You don't need the kids in the juice bar and they're like, oh no, I got teen pregnant. You just had the guy flying around the room doing crazy shit. It was amazing.
Is that, God, that's the pirate one.
Here, I'll find it for the viewers.
It'd have to be Super Mega Force. That's the only one where you turn into different Power Rangers.
Ranger 40 transformations. Let's see. Let's see if that...
And for the record, in regards to the Power Ranger that killed a man, it sounds from the little bit I've heard that it was actually self-defense, and it's going to be treated as a self-defense case in court. So, he might have actually not, like, straight up just murdered his roommate.
What?
Which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a dead dude, but...
Yeah.
Also, he fucking stabbed him with a sword. What the fuck? I own swords, but that even sounds weird to me. Like, I have a damn... Zombie apocalypse started tomorrow. I'd walk out my door laughing, knives on my arms like I'm fucking Wolverine, and just start spinning in a fucking circle.
He just turns into Dead Rising?
Pretty much.
How you doing there, Ben?
I can't figure out where I saw that video, but it was amazing and I'll never find it again. I'm so sad now. Maybe I need to search for, like, Super Sentai or something. Super Sempai. I hope he notices me.
My friend of mine's gonna get me into watching Kamen Rider. So that's...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he wants me to watch Kabuto.
Kabuto's really good.
That's what I've
really
heard,
good
so...
introductory one for the newer series.
There's been a few things that have happened recently in video games that I've watched and were amazing. There was the first American Tetris Grandmaster, which, at first, listening to that, I was like, yeah, you play Tetris well. Like, that's something anybody could do with, like, a year of just playing Tetris every day for a while. And then it's like, you watch it and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, dude, you're awesome. 'Cause that was... You have to play Tetris without seeing the blocks eventually, and that's not something I could do.
What?
And then,
What?
Oh yeah.
How can you play Tetris without seeing blocks?
You only see them when they land, and when they're, like, queued up, but before they drop.
Right. Oh, so you...
And then they disappear again. Like, once... You see them once they touch it down, and then as soon as they're officially placed, they disappear again.
That sounds awful.
It is. And somehow this guy does it. And he's, like, the 6th Grandmaster ever. So, kudos to him. And then there was also the, like, dude who broke Super Mario World in the first level and cut to credits. In, like, 5 minutes, I think, or just under 6 minutes. So that's, like, the newest speedrun record. I think it said that he did it again and got the time down even more.
That's ridiculous.
That is kind of nuts.
I'm starting to get pulled into that kind of stuff a little bit slowly, and I'm not sure if I want to throw myself down the rabbit hole there, or, like, try to pull out now while I still can.
So here's something kind of weird. I all of a sudden start getting followed by a bunch of, like, I don't want to say celebrities, but people that have certified Twitter accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I have, like, Mega Ran, like the nerdcore rapper, following me, and Susan Bennett, the voice of Siri, following me on Twitter for some reason.
What? What kind of secret agent shit are you pulling over there?
I don't know. It's really weird.
You must really tweet things they like.
I guess. I usually just tweet at, like, people I know, or, like, game designers I like, so...
Huh.
Just the most intense boost. Now you just need them to retweet something of yours, and you'll be set.
Oh, you would be fucking golden.
You need to show your tits.
Like the boy. What?
I was retweeted by Paul Heyman once. That was a goddamn nightmare.
Oh, God.
Because my phone would not stop blowing up for the next 3 hours.
Yeah. I was retweeted by Jim Sterling once, and yeah, that was like an hour or two of, like, likes and retweets and
Maybe
stuff.
he retweeted you ironically. Because he's Jim fucking Starlin's son.
Everything comes back around. The first time I was on, we talked about Jim Sterling,
Oh, yeah?
and I'd never listened to him. And we're back on that topic. I've still never listened to him.
He can be aggravating, but he can also be genuinely funny.
I like watching his squirty plays.
I've never heard of that.
That sounds too much for this channel.
It's on his YouTube channel.
I want Shovel Knight on PS4 already. What's the holdup?
It's not on there.
No, not yet.
Why?
They had to add fucking Kratos.
To Shovel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now, after I dropkick Zubaz, I'll be able to dropkick Kratos, too.
The Zubaz. I was rewatching Two Best Sisters play Pokemon Snap the other night, and it's just delightful, and Zubaz is in it. I used to watch the animation every day when I got up, like when I was getting ready for work, and it empowered me for the rest of the day.
I'm gonna snap you in half.
Oh.
I wish Two Snacks could still make those, but like he's too busy doing like work now.
Yeah.
It's weird when people, get lives and things.
I know, right? It's weird when people have to move and stuff.
And things.
I occasionally will watch rap battles. Like there's a fucking segment of YouTube and the internet that does legitimate rap battles and things, and I saw like a brief clip of a press conference recently before a big show, and some guy came back and it just like looks different than the videos I'd seen him in and everything, and I was like, that's weird. I didn't even recognize him until I heard his voice. I was like, okay.
Epic rap battles of history.
What? That's not a thing that exists. You're making that up. We should make that ourselves, Ben.
We should. We're so popular.
Nobody's ever done it before.
And then we should be Swedish and play Happy Wheels. And
there's actually been there's actually an Epic Rap Battles of History video up now. An update. A news video.
Oh, really? Good
Yeah.
for them.
Not sure. It's probably just like, hey, the rest of the season's coming eventually.
I like the Isaac Newton one because he's played by Weird Al Yankovic, and Weird Al Yankovic is like one of the best rappers of all time.
I love that they did Bill Nye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bill Nye is
The
awesome.
science guy?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same person.
Bill?
Ho-
Bill?
Hosier.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Hosier, how long has your Steam picture been Bender's game from Futurama?
Ever since I made it.
Are you a fan of that quote-unquote movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, as long as you're legit.
Yeah, I do. I do like that movie. I like a lot of all their stuff pretty much.
So, Noah, Majora's Mask 3D.
I don't want to talk about it.
But it's the hip new thing.
I don't want to talk about it, Ben.
So, Hosier, Majora's Mask
Yeah.
3D.
I'll end this call right now.
Oh, so, alright, so, Majora's Mask 3D.
What is your...
So
air your grievances. Is it the ice arrows? Is it because they changed the ice arrows?
No, it's because like, Nintendo, I don't understand what they're doing. I don't get
You
it.
mean fixing Majora's Mask?
No, I don't. It's not even that. It's not about the actual game itself. I could care less if they're updating it. It's the fact that I want the special edition shit, and the moment they announce it, it sells out, and when I get a pre-order for one of them, it gets refunded, because apparently they're not making enough, even though I paid them the money for the console. Give it to me.
Just give it.
Just, like, don't worry
Gimme.
about, like, trying to make a television series or anything like that. Use the money that you invest in that to make more product.
Everything that Nintendo does is questionable at this point. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I mean, they're making money. They're making money hand over fist.
They'll always make money.
I don't understand half of their financial decisions.
They're very mysterious.
Well, I mean, Hoshor, you said they're always going to make money. That's not necessarily true. That kind of thinking, comes up all the time, and then suddenly, slip on a fucking banana peel, and companies are going down left and right all of a sudden.
Iwata's carrying all their money to the bank.
Nintendo,
and he slips on a banana peel and falls off a bridge with it.
Anyone want to name a giant company that has died in the last 20 years?
Gaming company.
Sega?
SNK?
Capcom's fucking swirling the drain.
Okay.
Give it maybe 5 years.
Microsoft has been,
trying to kill the Xbox forever.
Yeah.
Square Enix?
I mean, shit happens all the time. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to Nintendo. Nintendo's bigger than all of those, but...
Well, that's just the thing. They don't have just, a one system. They've got this system. They've got this. I mean, they've got all the little spin-offs. They've got people hooked on different parts of their company. It's not just I'm just going to play these video games, beep, 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 and win.
Is that some kind of robot?
It's just me being frustrated. But, I mean, they've got all this different stuff, all this other I was just going to call them gimmicks, to get people to buy. So if one side starts going down, they can start bolstering somewhere else or whatnot. I mean, that's just the way I look at it, because, I mean, yeah, Nintendo's big and you're never too big to fail, but, I mean, even when they're trying to quote-unquote compete with the PS4 and the Xbox One, I mean, hell, they came out with Amiibos, which probably was just hey, let's see if this works, and they just fly off the fucking shelf. I mean, they're what, $8 or something?
They're $14.
$14, but, I mean, the one day I put them out, I think it was Samus was gone.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as, we opened, boom, they were gone. There was people up front asking for them. I mean, it's a collectible, it's a playable thing, it interacts with your Wii U. I mean, then they still have all of their other handheld devices, their portables. I mean, it's just... They're just spread out over everywhere, but they've been doing it for so long that it would really be hard for them to fail.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to fail anytime soon, if at all, but I don't know, it just seems like everything they do, it's looked at with a bit more shadiness, a bit more questionable as of late.
But is that going to stop their sales?
No, not necessarily. But,
go ahead.
I mean, not all at once, but over time, I mean, yeah, it could. Shady business practices, questionable things, they got very lucky with the Amiibos, I think. Because that could have very easily been seen as a cash grab by Nintendo, where people overall just said, there's no real use to having these things, and screw them. They got spun as a collector's item, and it didn't hurt any that certain people were like, I'm going to buy 1,000 of these so no one else can, and then I'm going to flip them, which just makes people see them and perceive them as being more collectible than they might actually turn out to be. And that definitely helped, and I'm glad it worked. I'm glad that worked out for them. That's great. I don't want Nintendo to go anywhere. But, yeah, I also feel like they're dicking around some of their biggest fans at times. And maybe that's just because I'm a big fan of the Let's Play community, and recently Nintendo went ahead and once again started to fuck with them. But, do you really want to mess with guys like Chug Conroy, who are fucking huge homers for Nintendo and doing all of this basically free advertising?
Yeah.
And then guys like me, I haven't played an actual Nintendo game, a new Nintendo game, since fucking Pokemon. Outside of Pokemon, I haven't played a new Nintendo game on a Nintendo handheld since Link Between Worlds, and I have no plans to.
Right, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Is I bought a DS, I think, whatever had the Guitar Hero on it. That Guitar Hero edition one. That's the last. Was it 3DS? That's the last, or DS. That's the last
DS Lite.
Nintendo thing I ever bought so far. I mean, I want a Wii U because of Mario Kart and stuff, but that's the last one I bought. And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are like that because they got sucked into whatever other platform they're playing. But it's just Nintendo has that age group. That age group never changes. They just cater their games to it, and they've just fucking milk money out of society. So, I mean, they've got a good formula, and I don't foresee it going down anytime soon or going awry just because they're doing some shady shit. I mean, to be blunt, but, yeah, they're going to lose customers. I mean, that's business. But at the same time, they're picking up all these kids, which is literally just bright colors and shit that moves around. But that's what they've been floating on for years.
And, I mean, we'll see how much that's really true and working for them when, what's the game, Splatoon or whatever? The little paintball first-person shooter comes out. That's very obviously aimed at their child market. And we'll see how it is, but, guys like us, and I'm the youngest of us, but, like, especially you guys grew up on Nintendo games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how often do you guys really play Nintendo games? I know Noah has a Wii U, and I think that's it out of the four of us.
I mean, I play Smash on my computer every now and then, but I downloaded it. But I mean, as far as actually getting consoles and buying them, yeah, I don't have anything. So I have a Nintendo, an NES. I don't even have a Super Nintendo in here. That's mine.
Oh.
You brought it. I don't even have a Super Nintendo. She's got all of the systems, like all of them.
And
like not just Nintendo, but fucking everyone's. We have a Dreamcast in this house.
I have 4.
Jesus.
She has 4 Dreamcasts in this
4
house.
Dreamcasts.
5 Nintendos, 3 Xboxes. Oh, we gotta put the Mountain Dew Xbox out.
Oh yeah.
How many Sega Saturns?
1 Sega Saturn.
Genesis.
Uh.
She collects the fucking things. Okay, I have one of those too. But she collects. We've got multiple. It's ridiculous. But anyways, back to the point. Well, that's another point. People who just went out and bought system after system after system, even if it was the same system, but it was an update or it was a special collector's edition. I mean, they're always going to have that, I think. I feel they'll always have that. Or they'll have, like, like these super bundle packs where people are just like, well, I don't want to lose money on this deal. I might as well get a Wii. And they, get a Wii, but Nintendo gets rid of these old content games, and they're coming out with these new ones, and they're like, well, let me try this, let me try that, just little stuff to kind of keep people trucking along and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I just don't see Nintendo go anywhere. I thought Xbox is going to start going down, but that's still a really strong label. And same thing with the PlayStation, that's still really strong. But it seems now people aren't really people are interested in their games, but it's not like what it used to be. Like, we'll just go with the Modern Warfare, Call of Duty genres, or those games per se. Like before, back in 360 days, one came out, all of us had it. We would all play together. It was great. And then they started getting played out. They still rode that train, and it just was like, now I have a PS4 just to play Final Fantasy 14 on because my computer was acting crappy. That's it. I don't even have, well, I recently got PlayStation Plus to play Destiny. I didn't even have PlayStation Plus. So I wasn't even really given PlayStation any money other than when I bought their system. So, I don't know, these companies are doing a good job. Well, they're making money. I'm not going to say doing a good job because if it wasn't for 14, I wouldn't own a next-gen console. There was no reason to. There's no reason for me to own a 360 until Halo 5 comes out. Or 360, Xbox One until Halo 5 comes out. But I'm literally buying a system for a single game. I'm not buying it for the array of games that they have because, well, they don't have an array of games that I want. They're all just kind of meh, and the creativity behind the games, and just, I think a lot of them have just kind of, they're just revamping old ideas, and all of them do it, but it's just, it gets to me. It makes me sad. And it takes out the thought process in making, or in playing the games, which, go back to the original consoles, you had to think, you had to play. There was no fucking hold your hand, here we go. It was slap your face. I hope you got past that. You didn't? Well, that sucks. Start from the beginning. A lot of fan servicing. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
No, it's okay. I mostly, as far as Nintendo is concerned, I don't think they're gonna die in this console generation, and I don't hope Nintendo ever dies. I want them to continue to be a juggernaut that can influence and have a positive influence on the direction of gaming in general. And to be fair, this is a weird conversation to have, because it's like, shut the fuck up, nerds. You're talking about the direction of gaming. It's not the direction of the fucking free world. But
it is to us.
yeah, fuck you. Like, it's our hobby, and we really care about it and all that. I worry about Nintendo's ability to compete, and if it doesn't have the ability to compete on an even playing field, its ability to go above that in a way, or surpass that in a way that it does right now. It's managed to pull back up the Wii U numbers over the holidays and everything, which is great, and I'm very happy for them. I'm not trying to be some anti-Nintendo, let's kill them off and forget about them. I just, I want to see where they go in the future.
Yeah, I
want to hope they live and do better than they are right now.
I'm not gonna lie, I was worried when the 360 came out and the PS, was it 3 at that point?
Yeah.
When the PS3 came out, I was like, there is no sense to get this Wii. There's no reason. Like, if you're a real gamer, you're not gonna want the Wii. And that was, the immature, the typical kind of shooter mentality on it. You're like, oh, look at this thing, so cartoony, you would never want one. And I've played a fair share of fun stuff on it and things like that, and I enjoyed it. I feel I missed out on the Wii. That's why I want to get a Wii U. Well, only for a couple, like I said before, only a couple select games, but definitely with the Wii U, they brought up their what is it? It's a C word, not compatibility. They are a competition. They are in fair playing field competition with PS4 and Xbox One. I believe the things that they bring to the table are comparable to both of the other machines, because everybody was looking at the PS4 and the Xbox One going, well, what's different from my PS3 and my 360?
Did anyone watch the Persona 5 trailer?
I did.
Yes.
No, I did not.
I thought it looked really pretty and cool.
It looks like Lupin the Third, the Persona.
There you go. Is it enough?
A lot of people made that comparison.
Is it enough to make you want to play it, Noah?
I am more interested in this one than any of the previous Persona games.
A buddy of mine actually loaned me his Vita, which has Persona 4 Golden in it, so I've slowly been playing through that. I forgot to mention that earlier because I feel awkward. I'm borrowing this guy's handheld and I never have to give it back. I could just move to Iceland for real and take it with me.
Who's your waifu?
I don't have one yet.
That's so sad.
I know.
How can a man live without his waifu?
Exactly.
I couldn't live without mine.
I know my friend is super hyped. I'm definitely going to be jumping on Persona 5 when it comes out.
That's because it's
going to be a good time.
Is it PS4 exclusive?
No, I think it's Sony exclusive, but I think there might still be a PS3 version. Noah's going to fact check me here. Probably prove me wrong.
That's what he does.
Also, just an interesting stat to bring us back to...
it's 3 and 4.
3 and 4, alright. To bring us back to our Nintendo talk briefly, as of the end of last year, supposedly, they had only sold 9.2 million consoles. And I don't want to downplay that necessarily, but, the PS4 and Xbox One both surpassed that within a year of release. To the Wii U's 2.5, 3 years on the shelf now?
Fair. I mean, that's fair, but you gotta give the numbers for their for their handhelds too. I mean, what does Xbox have that's a handheld?
No, I think
You
that
know,
one of
and
the big
that's-
things that made Nintendo not really ever panic financially when the Wii U wasn't doing as well as hoped was like, yeah, but the 3DS and all of its versions are also killing it. So, I mean, we're not, in danger.
And I mean, that shows my point even more that, they have their hand in so many different things that if one kind of falters, they still got the others to make up for it. And that's why I think Nintendo is going to be around for a very long time. Especially if they kind of keep progressing the way they do. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
In other news, I just got fan art sent to my phone.
What?
For one of my Nuzlocke stories on the forums.
There you go. Son, you're such a big wig.
So, yeah,
So-
that's a big goal for me.
Awesome.
The only other fan art I've had made directly for me was by Ben.
Son,
And you can find it on his Tumblr.
son, I'm a artiste. I drew a comic. Jamie.
Of
So-
me using a scapegoat in a cave, which is, it's
I'm
great.
looking at details of Persona 5, and apparently the protagonist persona is named Arsene.
So they're going for a Lupin as well.
They're literally going for an Arsene Lupin.
Or it could be Arsenio Hall.
That's a different name, Ben.
So I haven't seen the trailer, so is it like that kind of art style?
No, it's not Lupin the Third. It looks like the older it looks like Persona 4 and Catherine.
Yeah, that's the big art style that people were saying. Like, they look like Catherine, the characters and stuff,
Yeah,
which is actually a step up from what they were doing before.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the artist is Soejima. He's doing the art for the Persona games.
My buddy and I were speculating about the party, and we were actually like, the area it looks like they're hanging out at the bar, like where they're sitting, looks really limited. But it looks like we have at least seen the 4 starting protagonists, including yourself.
I don't know if they'll expand it out to being like a bigger group, like the previous games, or if they might keep it a bit smaller.
I'm of two minds about it. I kind of wouldn't mind having a smaller group that, is static throughout the game, because grinding up your team and, getting new members who might be slightly over-leveled or under-leveled and dealing with elements and stuff, that's all very annoying. But at the same time, it's like, well, there's also, multiple attack elements, and if there's only 3 party members, not counting the protagonist, that's a lot of social links that don't affect your party anymore, which was kind of a cool feature of Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
Well, and 3. And I don't know why I'm saying it's not there. It is.
That's the Persona series whole deal is social links.
Yeah. Well, Persona, half JRPG, half, harem simulator.
Yeah.
Son.
Well, that really kind of started with the third games. The first 2 games were kind of different. They're more in line with the original Shin Megami Tensei franchise.
Or just Megami Tensei. Before that Shin got in there. Before Shin got a hold of it. Remember Shin? That was
I
a
do.
good anime. This is where I would parlay into pretending to read letters. But we went through the backlog of those in the Lost podcast, and basically all of them were from Brian with a Y, and we kind of vaguely answered some of them, so I'm sorry that we can't answer those again. Because I cleared the inbox out.
I was gonna say, I don't remember what the fuck the questions were, so let's do it.
I think one of them was
talking
like...
about dating a girl and where you work.
I think one of them was, who's your favorite rival character? Got a quick answer?
Sephiroth.
Gary Oak? Confirmed.
Yeah, I'm the Pokemon guy, so I gotta go Gary. I can't not.
But anyway, so since this is restarting the podcast, we'll just restart the letterbox if anyone wants to actually send us one, which is at tenfeypodcast@gmail.com. So,
What was that, Ben?
tenfeypodcast@gmail.com. And anyone listening to this, just write us a letter. We don't give a shit. It doesn't have to be a question. It could just be a humorous ASCII picture. It could be a math equation that we'll try to solve in real time. It could be the ring that makes the video that makes the little girl from the whale come out of your screen and kill you. Like, just send.
Pretty sure that would only affect Ben, so I don't care if you do that.
I'd take you. Well, then I become a ghost.
You gonna haunt me? You don't even know where I am.
You're already a shell of a
It's
man.
the truth.
You don't know if I'm in Iceland or Indiana or India or...
Or Indian Iceland.
Indian Iceland. Good times. Yeah, but yeah, just send us something. We'll react to it. Well, like the four reaction guys from that famous series of pictures.
From GameSpot.
Oh, is that what that was
Yeah.
from?
I'm pretty sure it was GameSpot.
I saw the best one of those. It was like artistically enhanced. So the four of them were starting character classes from Dark Souls 2. And the first thing they see is the Emerald Herald, and they look bored. And then they see Shalakor or whatever, the talking cat, and that's when they get hyped. The good times.
I say.
The good times. Anyone got any closing statements there before we end? We've been going over 2 hours.
Yeah.
You putting a time limit on us now?
Well, I'm tired, and I want to go get more to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife who's
No,
been
And I
like,
think we've rambled enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've gone on long
Of
enough.
course, as I
Probably.
messaged Noah a few minutes ago, I said, this is more video game talk than all the other podcasts combined happened in this podcast.
Hoshor and I, Hoshor and I talked about doing a video game podcast of our own, and we started, that's preview of what may come one day if TENFENITY podcast dies.
Son.
that's right. Or it could
Again.
be just a slight branch off of the TENFENITY group. You never know. Little side project.
Oh, God. Y'all are going to bust out like Joey from Friends and become super famous.
Am I an official, am I an official Tenfei main character?
I don't know.
Or am I still a side character? We have to leave it up to the commenters.
It's TENFENITY Unlimited.
Yeah.
There it
The
is.
second season where they expanded the universe.
Oh, so expanded. All the Pokemon.
They did. They expanded
Alright.
it and added Hoot Hoot to the roster.
Oh,
I'm Hoot Hoot.
and only Hoot Hoot.
He only has one leg. Why?
That's
No,
so-
they have two
Why
legs.
does he only have one leg? They have 2 legs. Prove it. You can't because
I can prove it right the
you
fuck
can't
now.
because the podcast is over. Oh, what's that? There's a song fading in. Nobody can hear anything.
Come on, reanimate your feet.